you wanted the best, you've got the best podcast. The hottest podcast in the world. The Chris Voss Show, the preeminent podcast with guests so smart you may experience serious brain bleed. The CEOs, authors, thought leaders, visionaries, and motivators. Get ready. Strap yourself in. Keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the vehicle at all times, because you're about to go on a monster education roller coaster with your brain. Now, here's your host, Chris Voss.
Hi, folks. It's Voss here from thechrisvossshow.com. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. The Iron Lady sings it. That's when you know it's official. Welcome to the big show, my family and friends. We certainly appreciate you guys being here. As always, we have the smartest people on the show, the CEOs, the billionaires, the White House presidential advisors, the Pulitzer Prize winners, the great authors who share their knowledge and their stories of life and all the things that they've learned, and they bring them to the Chris Voss Show and impart them. I don't know. I'm just making up words at this point, people. It's poetic license. On to you and improve the quality of your life. For 15 years, we've been doing this. And as always, we will continue on. This is going to be one of the harder shows I've done because I'm intermittent fasting right now to lose weight. And we have two amazing cooks on the show who they have a whole business of just inspiring people to eat better and everything else. I'm just drooling in the back of my head. So if you hear drooling or slurping on the show, it's just me. So there you go. We have the authors of the latest book on the show that came out September 27th, 2022. Taste Better from Scratch Cookbook. Easy recipes for everyday life. We have Lauren Allen and Liz Haslam on the show. They're the team behind the multimedia company and food website Taste Better from Scratch. Their passion for creating and sharing approachable from scratch meals has led to millions of social media followers, a best-selling cookbook, and a website that attracts more than 15 million monthly visitors, and I think I'm the newest one to be added to that. They hope to inspire people to eat healthier, save money, and create better habits for their families. Welcome to the show, Lauren and Liz. How are you?
Thank you so much for having us. We're just stoked to be here, making you drool. Yes.
Yeah, I can't. I just keep flipping back before the Instagram, and I'm just like I'm just lost. So give us the .com one more time so people can find you guys on the internet, please.
Yeah, you can find our website at tastebetterfromscratch.com. We're also on all the social media platforms at Taste Better From Scratch.
There you go. The tickety-talkities, the Instagrams, and all that good stuff.
You got it.
So give us a 30,000 overview. What's inside this book?
This book is really kind of like the beginner's guide to Taste Better From Scratch. It's our most popular recipes, the ones we love, the ones that made us what we are from our reader fan base, all compiled into a great book of 116 recipes. So it's just really great for especially like beginner cooks, people who are just wanting to feed their family better, don't know where to start, and want recipes that are going to be winners.
If you just pull up our website, there's thousands of recipes. And if someone's like, well, what do I start? What's your favorite? It's like, check out the book. The book's got the best of the best.
There you go. Now, I've been doing that too. For the last 15 minutes or 20 minutes before you guys came on, as I was pulling up the show, I've been going through all your stuff. And now you guys are twins. Is that correct?
We are.
Identical twins.
So tell us how you got in this business together. How you guys started your brand, how you guys were raised, maybe what influenced you guys to be in the cooking business.
Yeah, we were born in a little ski town in Park City, Utah, surrounded by amazing cooks, generations of good cooks. So we both loved cooking from a very young age. And then like college hit, and it was this whole new world of cafeteria food. And I literally had no idea that people don't like cooking and don't know how to cook and don't even know what good food is. And it was that's kind of where this idea started of just me wanting to help my roommate, my neighbors, my friends, just like, no, cooking's really easy. Yeah. You don't have to eat this garbage. It's much better for you. It's less expensive. And it's just a more enjoyable experience when you cook for yourself. So that's where the website was born.
It started with just, hey, we need a place to share. You make a really simple recipe and people are like, how did you do that? We need a place to send a link and share a simple recipe.
Mm-hmm. There you go. So when did you guys team up and say, let's kind of turn this into a business?
Yeah, Liz started it with me initially. Then she was, she had a real job.
I got busy teaching and all these things. And Lauren wanted to take it seriously and really built a really sizable, awesome business. And then she needed help. And so I just jumped
I brought her on in like 2017. Yeah, she's kind of everybody's boss. She runs our team and I just get to cook and do the good food, and Liz gets to be the boss of everybody. So it's great.
That's a good team. I had a business partner like that for about 13 years, and we had two different strengths.
Yeah.
And so it works out really well that way. So now, is this your first cookbook?
This is our first cookbook. Yep, it's our baby.
There you go. And you guys are killing it online. Millions of followers. I mean, the food is just, like I said, I kind of just got lost in going through you guys' Instagram.
It's totally not us. It's good content. Put out good content and people come back. Yep.
It's enthralling. This might be, I normally get caught up in TikTok, so I'll have to check out your TikTok channel and subscribe over there, because I normally follow a lot of cooks on TikTok, and I just sit there as a single man just going, oh my God. And I don't know what it is, but it seems like most women that are chefs are always married. And so don't ask me how I notice that, because I'm always looking for rings when I see people cook on TikTok. And I'm like, my man brain just goes, I'll marry her in a second. I have no idea who she is, but she cooks really well. That food looked amazing. She's a nurturer.
I love TikTok because I feel like it's brought a new kind of love for cooking that is kind of reinvented, especially with younger generations, and more interest, and like food can be really fun and exciting. So TikTok's been great for the food world.
There you go. I put on a lot of weight eating bad, owning companies all my life from 18. I started my own companies and I started eating on the road. And, I had that attitude. I'll get healthy later. I'll get the weight off later. And I ate bad for a lot of years. And then, of course, when you're single, you end up going out to dinner a lot, dates and stuff. You're always eating at restaurants and crap. And I think it was 2016, I finally had gotten sick of how fat I was. And so I started eating healthy. And I started making my food at home and kind of learning to cook for myself. And it was so empowering. It almost seems like it's cooking for yourself now, making things from scratch. It's kind of like a lost art. Do you think that's true?
Absolutely. I was actually kind of in a deep dive of reading about this topic, and Forbes came out with a really interesting article a couple years ago, basically about how millennials are missing the basic life skills, like life skills 101. And it is an interesting trend because you start to see this shift where all the grocery stores have these like ready-made meals. And that's really the next thing is like, I am cooking, but I'm not really cooking. I'm just buying this meal and I'm heating it up at home, but I feel like I'm cooking. And it's an interesting trend because it's just, it's a nice convenience food, but it's sort of still missing the boat on like feeding yourself good, nutritious food. And then you're also spending
at the end of the day, it's expensive. It's not nutrient dense, and people are eating more when they eat that way. So it leads to higher rates of obesity.
Yeah. And these processed foods, I learned about eating live foods and non-processed foods and, not eating the frozen foods and the stuff. And so I learned that, the taste is like so much better in making things from scratch and in eating live foods instead of dead foods and spending time going through the produce department. And if you just learn to prep a little bit or season a little bit, it's not that hard.
Absolutely.
You can make things taste way better than McDonald's.
Yeah, anybody can. I feel like that's our MO, is like it is just cheaper and tastes so much better.
But then people are always coming back with like, well, sure, I know all of that, but I don't have the time. Like I don't have the time to do it. And that's where I think maybe when people find our website or similar websites, they're like, oh, there's this aha of like, it doesn't have to take long. And I can have all of it. I can have cheaper, healthier, and it can be easy and simple to put together if I just have a plan.
Yeah. We were talking before the show in the green room about how, I'm always in search for the best sourdough bread I can find. And you guys have a no-knead bread where you don't have to knead it with your hands. And I didn't mean to imply that it was a no-knead bread, like you don't need bread. Do keep it light in your diet. But you guys have a thing on there, and it can be done in just a few minutes,
yeah,
I think.
That's a really fun one for people to start, especially people who are like, I love sourdough bread. I want to make it. Sourdough bread is a ton of babysitting and a ton of work and a huge learning curve. This no-knead artisan bread is a loaf of artisan bread. It's like 4 ingredients, flour, water, yeast, salt. You mix it in a bowl and you set it aside for a couple hours and then you bake it. Like it's the easiest.
Yeah.
It makes the best bread.
It's foolproof. And if you served me a loaf of this sourdough bread that you babysat and took care of, and you took care of the starter for months, and you compare, I'm like, I'm not sure a hot piece of bread, I'm going to be able to tell the difference.
Just the time cost, the opportunity cost, and the ingredient cost, the loaf of bread's probably 20 cents.
Oh, wow. Seriously.
Yeah.
That's pretty good deal. Yeah, I have this fantasy that I want to become like a sourdough dude who, yeah, I actually have some friends that do it, and it's a whole job pretty much what they're doing and
I have
monitoring.
a lot of respect for people who do it.
Yeah. And I'm just like, I don't think that's really going to work for me.
And not to discourage anyone's passions, but I think sometimes, especially in sort of this TikTok-y world, we see these accounts and we're inspired by one dish and we're like, that's going to be my new thing. And then turns out it's actually kind of expensive or complicated or difficult. And then we're like, I suck at cooking. It's not for me, when maybe you just sort of chose the wrong entry point.
And you guys bring up a good point. When I switched to veganese, there's a million variations of vegan, so I didn't learn you could offend so many people by saying the wrong term of veganese. So it's just veganese, people. It's just whatever. But I started eating more salads, more healthy, more live foods, spending most of my purchasing time in the produce department as opposed to the frozen food TV dinner department. And it was amazing how much cheaper my grocery bills were. I was like, holy crap, it's really expensive to eat fatty foods that destroy your health, not on top of the hospitalization costs that you're going to incur as you get older. How much of the recipes that you have in the book, or maybe the recipes on your website, do you guys try and find recipes that are, when it comes to consumption of time, are the faster ones?
Yeah. At the end of the day, I'm a mom of 4. She's a mom of 3. We run a full-time business. Like, I'm all about, I have as much time as anybody else who's a working mom, so we definitely gear all of our meals for the most part towards just quick, easy, delicious. There's definitely a subsection for people who want to cook fancier things for sure. But yeah.
There you go. Hacking that dopamine, a lot of people don't realize with fast food and some of these other highly chemical, highly processed foods is they're really designed chemically to give you a dopamine hit, like a drug. And people don't realize how much they're geared. And when I made that switch and started cooking for myself and making my own meals and just learning to season stuff, so that it tastes good and it can give you those same sort of flavors that you're looking for when you're, most people aren't like, hey, I'm going to go to McDonald's and I want to eat this greasy, nasty thing that has some sort of Franken meat that God knows what's in it and 50 chemicals, from, I don't know, Lover's Canal Island, if anybody remembers that joke from the 70s. You're just like, I don't know what's in this. I think it came from a Superfund site. It's glowing. And mostly you're just after kind of that taste. Like, my mom's kind of funny. She loves chocolates and different sweets and stuff. And so she realizes that she's there for the taste. And so she'll take a bite and then spit it out.
Oh gosh, that's awesome.
And so she realizes though that, she wants the taste of it. And I started realizing that with the fast food and everything. And so being able to prepare for food is so much better. So you've got 116 recipes in there. There's images with every recipe. And I thought this was pretty cool. You guys have QR codes that link to a video of how to make the recipe.
Definitely. I feel like there's a couple reasons people probably don't cook. One being, they don't have the time. One being that they don't know how or they don't like it. So I feel like we're doing the best we can to just hold your hand through the process. So there's a QR code. You can go straight to a video of myself making it, or just kind of hands in pans, as we call them, showing you exactly how to make the recipe. So it's pretty cool. This day and age, I feel like there's just no good excuse for not learning this basic life skill. It's like, we care about our sleep, we care about our exercise, and we care about our health and eating well. This is a very necessary skill that once you practice it and learn it, it's going to make your life a whole lot less stressful. And especially, I feel that way with my kids. I feel like I have an obligation to teach them, because they're going to have to feed themselves for the rest of their life 3 times a day. So, yeah, it's an important life skill.
You don't want to be going to McDonald's and stuff. The other thing is what are some of the benefits? You mentioned one, teaching the kids, life skills. Those are really important, because that's I didn't learn to cook for myself when I was young, and then I ended up at McDonald's all the time, and Taco Bell and all that sort of good stuff. And now it shows. I'm wearing half of it. But being able to cook for yourself is definitely a life skill. I know some couples that what they'll do is they use cooking as a way to kind of get together as a couple, and they cook together and make stuff together, and it becomes like a project. Me and my friends used to do that when we used to throw parties. We would get together. My friend was a really good cook, and so I just kind of be the assistant in the thing, and he'd tell me what to do. But we put together these great meals, and there was a community to it. Basically, there used to be that whole community of breaking bread together with people.
Absolutely.
And it was a way that we got together. Anthony Bourdain kind of perfected that sort of thing of meeting strangers and breaking bread. Any thoughts you want to expand on that?
Absolutely. We're on board with all of that. I mean, if you can, what you're talking about, getting together with your spouse or good friends is a great relationship builder. And then even at its most basic, cooking by yourself and feeding whoever's in your family, that act of sitting down at a table, there's a ton of research around, especially for kids. If you've got kids and you're trying to provide them with some protective factors to battle life, improved mental health, relationships, stronger academic performance. It's a protective factor against high-risk behaviors in general for adolescents. Just the idea that you sit down regularly as a family and eat something.
Yeah.
And I agree too. Like I know Europeans feel this way too, but just eating in a social environment is a healthier way to eat. Food should be enjoyed together. Like it's this community, it's this like healthy social factor going on. And you're also just not going to eat as much. You're going to eat slower. There's going to be conversation going on. It's just a healthier way to eat.
I've got some friends from Italy that I remember they came over to the States, and I remember them being just sort of abhorred at, they're like, you guys, you eat in the car and you eat in front of the TV and you eat while you're standing, that like eating isn't this respected, like you should sit down and enjoy the food and the people you're with rather than just treating it like it's this thing you're doing all throughout the day.
Definitely. It's more communal, and community is good for us. I grew up in the world. I think you guys probably did too, where our parents, or at least my mom, made us all sit down and eat together, but we didn't have cell phones back then. And, now I'll go to a restaurant and I'll see like a whole family of maybe 4 people, 5 people, whatever. And every one of them, including the parents and children, have got a cell phone. They're just sitting there like zombies, just going, Yeah. And you're right. If I'm eating alone, I'll just hork down whatever food I have, probably at 1,000,000 miles an hour, choke on it half the time. And it's like, I should have chewed that better. And you're right. If you're with somebody, you're talking, it takes longer to go through the meal, probably longer for you to ram it in your system, and your system has a better chance to process it. It's just better overall, I think, for people. I think the QR code thing is great too with the videos, because most people really, I'm one of those people, I watch videos to fix everything. I mean, if something breaks in the house, I go watch a video. Something breaks in the car, whatever the hell it is, I'm like, hey, go see video. That's why we put up videos, to teach people stuff. And so it's much more easier. I've been on so many cooking recipe sites where you're like, is there a video on this? Because these instructions, I don't get what's going on.
Yeah, no, the videos are awesome. I feel like on our website, we also have just step-by-step process photos. I think people learn and interpret the information differently. So yeah.
I think one of the biggest things that keeps people coming back, because there's so many places to find information, is that I think there's a few people copying us now, but we were one of the first people to ever start offering free meal plans. Like, there's no catch. There's a meal plan. There's a shopping list, like everything you need to make it for free on the internet. Luckily, we have an ad-supported business model, so we're able to just give stuff out for free, and we make money because people are seeing ads while they're on our content. But the meal plans have definitely, I think, helped with that issue of, you have the video to help you, and now you've also got a plan for the week.
Yeah.
There you go. Now, I noticed on you guys' website, you guys have air fryer recipes. It seems like air fryers are like what everyone's using these days. Is that kind of out of control, or is that a valid way to cook? I haven't tried it yet.
I think the air fryer is great because I feel like it's not like a trend like the Instant Pot. It's here to stay because it's really just another type of oven. So you can cook more things in it and you can have more success with it. It's easier to use. You can cook vegetables in it, fish, chicken, or you can reheat anything in it.
I'm a big skeptic of all the new gadgets and tools that come out. And I've found I'm a big fan of the air fryer. I think it's here to stay as well. It's a really convenient tool that I think you can cook healthier in it. You don't need to add as much oil and you kind of still get that crispy flavor.
That's the trick. I bought one for my mom and she loves it. I haven't gotten around to buying one for me. So you got all sorts of recipes on your website. People can go through them and target different things, even vegetarian. Tell us about some of the other offerings you guys have on your website. You've got meal plans, recipes, cookbooks, all that sort of good stuff.
Yeah, our meal plans, I mean, I think what keeps people coming back and back are just great recipes, new recipes coming out every single week, new videos coming out every week. But our meal plans are what we're really passionate about as far as just an amazing free resource. People all the time go to these different companies that are offering them meal plans. They'll ship you the food, but they're essentially shipping you the ingredients you need, the recipe card. Like, you're cooking it yourself still. So I think especially with grocery pickup these days, it's like we give you a shopping list and the recipes you need that week. You punch it all in, your groceries are delivered, or you pick them up, and it's all free, which is I think we're passionate. That's probably the best thing that we offer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So how does the meal plans work? Are they frozen and sent to you by mail, or do you have to pick them up locally?
No, so that's probably so you've got sort of these like meal delivery services out there, the HelloFreshes of the, we're sort of an intermediary where we are giving you the idea, the meal, the recipe,
okay,
the shopping list. The work you have to do is to enter it in your grocery delivery service and order the groceries yourself. But you're printing out the recipes, and you've got all the ingredients, and it's free versus paying a monthly fee for these.
And the other thing I love about it is we offer like an estimated budget for every meal. So I would say the average week worth of dinner recipes is no more than $60 to $70 for a family. Most of them feed at least four to six people.
Wow.
And then there's prep ahead instructions where you can, do something really simple ahead of time if you prep on Sunday or you prep before you go to work, so that just the cooking in general seems like less of a drag because you've already got yourself started.
I love this too, because if you're a busy family, and even for me as a busy single guy, you're like, what should I make, and if I don't find it in the fridge, we have Walmart deliver stuff, but if I don't find it in the fridge, sometimes I end up at a restaurant, but I can afford it. But it's not always the best food. Well, I eat at nice places, damn it. But I love this meal plan thing. I just subscribed to it. A lot of people, I don't know if it's still a thing, but back when somewhere about midpoint when HelloFresh and a lot of those different services start, they all sent us stuff because we review products and stuff. And what we found was a lot of time they were sending us like really like almost throwaway vegetables and stuff that were kind of at the end of their life. And I'm like, did you get this out of the back of the dumpster of the grocery store that threw the fresh stuff out? Like it was just like you had to cook it fast. It had like a day or two left on most of the produce that was sent to us. And I was really discouraged by a lot of it. And then we got the frozen stuff too, and that was really awful. Like I would post it on social media and people were like, that looks like crap. And I'm like, well, it tastes good. And they're like, Chris, you're single. What do you know? Anything tastes good to you. And I'm like, you kind of have a point. So I like this meal plan idea because it can make it so that you can plan a whole different meal, and they look beautiful. You guys have 161 here on the website. So, people can map out the week. They can, you always get those kids that are like, I want this, I want that.
Yeah. And if you create a free account, you can edit them too. You can swap out your favorites.
If there's a meal you're like, oh, my family's not going to eat that, you can plug in a different option and it will generate an updated shopping list for you.
Can I just make it so it's all tacos and sourdough bread?
Definitely. You can build your own from the beginning.
Tacos are my love language. That and pizza. What have we talked about that we should plug out for you guys on what you guys are doing and how you're doing it and all that good stuff?
Yeah, if you're really into, people are into healthy eating right now. We just launched a macro ebook. So it's an electronic cookbook, but if you don't know what macros are, basically it's just a healthy cookbook that gives you a sort of a calorie count of where your calories are coming and what percentage are from fat, carbs, protein. If there's a lot of people into sort of dialing in more about what percentage of their calories are coming from each of those macronutrients.
Or just eating higher protein, lower carb. All of the recipes are really geared toward that. And it's awesome because if you use apps like MyFitnessPal or the Macro First app, there's QR codes in there that directly take you, so you can track it easily. And all of the recipes are already inputted in those programs. So you can just log them super, super quickly. And if you don't count macros, it's just an awesome, healthy cookbook.
There you go. I love it because anytime those apps are like, tell us how many calories are what you're eating, and you're just like, I don't know. It's a broccoli.
Right.
I'm not going to weigh it. I'm like, I got things to do, man. So it's been wonderful to have you guys on the show. Give us any plugs you want, any place you want people to follow you on the interwebs.
No, I think we're just all about bringing the joy back to cooking. So if you're feeling in a rut as far as you're eating or wanting to cook, better or more fun food, hope you'll check us out. TasteBetterFromScratch.com.
There you go. And follow them on Instagram and TikTok. You can see all the pictures. I've got this running in the background. I'm just going to probably spend the next hour drooling on. I've kind of learned a trick where if I look at food, even when I'm intermittent fasting, I'm kind of still okay. But it like, I don't know, it like takes it away from me where I don't really want to go eat. It's kind of like, I don't know, I can look, not touch sort of thing.
I think that's a special skill that you have that I definitely
It is. I've developed it. I think I converted it to men's ability to, look at women, but whatever, but it would look, don't touch. So sort of thing. I think it's a married guy, maybe response, but jokes aside, I'm looking at this. What is this beef on here? This is a beef tenderloin. Oh my God. But I can second the motion that eating healthy and being able to prepare your own food is so empowering too. I mean, you really feel proud of yourself. You're like, hey man, I made some food. It tasted really damn good. And you just feel like you've learned a new skill in life and you've expanded your life vision and stuff. So there you go. Thank you ladies for being on the show. We really appreciate it.
Thanks so much for having us.
There you go. And thanks, Ron, for tuning in. Order up the book wherever fine books are sold. Taste Better from Scratch Cookbook. Easy recipes for everyday life. Came out September 27th, 2022. Be good to each other. Stay safe. And we'll see you guys next time.